today I want to talk about your journey home and how to find your way home, how to create an environment. Now, for you to be aware of your journey, you have to be aware of oneself. What are you learning? What keeps coming to you? What is your karma? How are you reacting to situations? How are you acting? Now, this universe, it has doors open, and you are the one who closes them. So as your awareness changes, different vibrations happen into the body, and the body will remember everything. The system that you live in or live upon has different vibrations and different levels to achieve. Sometimes you get stuck on one level for a few years. This is okay. There's lots of doors that you need to close. Now, remember before, as I've said, for you to exist somewhere, you have to create an environment for you to appear. It's the same as the Father. So you invite your friend over, and you always remember, because your body remembers, and your friend's body remembers what you and your friend got up to that one time, or all them times. So say you had a friend who likes to sit down and eat, and you had so many good laughs with his friends before the world took you on a roller coaster of emotions. But this one friend, you always remember having a laugh with, having some food, having a laugh with. Now, for you to contact that friend again, you have to create an arena, an environment for your friend to appear. So first of all, what do? You reach out. You might think that you need to see your friend, and your friend might be thinking exactly the same thing as well. So while you're thinking, and your friend is thinking, there's a connection, a spirit connection. And then, this is your act. You're acting that you want to see your friend. Then the next stage is emotion. You will write to your friend emotionally with words saying, I want to meet up. They might write back going, I want to meet up too. So now you're starting to create this arena, this environment. You're starting to create it. So as you're creating what you're going to do when you see your friend, you've gone from a spiritual way of thinking that you could deal with seeing your friend, you could do with seeing your friends, but then you have to create the same environment that you appreciated your friend before. So you think about it first spiritually, so you act, and then you're going to react. So now you're going to react to the act. So you're going to react by writing to them. Write to them, you reach out, you create it, and then they write back. Soul contract, just there, bang. Then you're going to meet at a coffee shop. Because now you're older, you might be going somewhere slightly different. So it might be a coffee shop. You've created this environment. You see? And then you physically, you plan out what you're going to be talking about in your head. How you're going to react. What you want to tell him, all the good stuff that's happened. What's all the bad stuff that's happened. You can't wait to tell your friend. Your friend will be doing the same thing. Can't wait. Then you create the arena. Then you physically turn up. You both meet, and it's like all them years have never happened. All them years. This person remembers all of your past, which is what it feels like. You have a wonderful time together, chatting and laughing and giggling. cream at the same time of its best memory. Ice cream, sugar, overload. What will your body remember at that point of time? Will it remember the ice cream or the memory? So for example, right? Why don't you forget about ice cream? So then you remember the ice cream and you keep on remembering the ice cream. You remember the ice cream. So the memory starts going as a distance. So the body then remembers just the ice cream. The sugar overload, the feeling, the sensation. So we got a system here which likes to try to corrupt us and try to steal away our memories. So then you're a little bit more lost, more fragmented. But that doesn't mean that the memory's not there. It's just, it's in a cloud. And you have to like spend many hours and time inside one head to try to remember your memories. And you need people around you to remind you. So if you go and look at something like Disney, what do they have? You go to Disneyland Paris, what do they have? Or Disneyland Florida, what do they have? Ice cream, sugar, excitement, roller coasters. That's what you remember. You won't remember getting there. You won't remember coming back. You won't remember how much your mum and your dad love watching you enjoying yourself. You won't remember that. You won't remember the cuddles and the kisses your mum and dad give you. You won't remember your mum and dad holding your hands. You just remember the feel, the thrills and the chills. The sugar, the rides, the fast fix, quick fix. But deep inside of there is a memory of love. It's a massive love. But the environment has been created for you to forget. Quick fix. See, that's how we know how our society rolls. This society at the moment gets bored. You can watch a series, a whole series on whatever platform you want to watch. You get bored. You watch the whole lot? Yeah, it's cool. What's next? What's next? Now, to get home, you must pick up ancient texts, ancient books, because there's something inside of you which is in a cloud. You need to create the environment, the arena, so that the father and mother can approach you and energize you to remind you this is just a journey. And it's all about cleansing your body. It's all about understanding that before your child was born, the sun and the moon were in the sky. It's for you to remember there's more to this. There's a deeper meaning to this. And you'll be tested all the way. The man and the female, two opponents, but must live together in space. You live in a house. Unfortunately, it's square. It should be round. But you're taught that you live in space because you live in an area which has space. And you are the atom, which is the man, and you are the element. Now, men are addicted to stay with a woman. See, now, the reason why this is because you recycle around a woman. What I mean by that is that you'd always be pulled back by the female. The female is like, the male is like going around the roundabout, and the female is in the middle of the roundabout. Yeah? So it's like leaving your house, going onto the road, the male, and the female's at home, or the female energy, you're still going to come back. You're still going to come back. And the female's energy is existing with you because you need to go through all of these challenges as a male. And the female is the one that puts you through all these tests. And it's whether or not you're able to take upon these tests and open up and see yourself in a different perspective. That's what the female is. The male is addicted. See, like the female has a womb, and we all come from the womb. You're born in the womb and you die in the tomb. Okay? So you're still going back to the mother. The female is the mother energy. Right? You can see her as a beautiful person with long hair, like my partner, beautiful, you know, that's the female energy. That's the female energy. But her job on this world is for people or their partners and children to be addicted to them, the parents, the mum, is to put them through these tests. Put them through them. And then they come back. The male comes back. The children come back. You always go back. You always go back. I mean, it depends how programmed you are in society and how much stuff you have to do to wake yourself up. You know, like some people can break off their mother and never see him again. But in actual fact, you know, like there is something that is an underlying issue that you need to keep on going towards your mum because you need to go through all the processes of waking up. And all this is a cellular level. It's like having loads and loads of doors, yeah? And you open one up, whoa, I ain't going in there, and you just got a torch. Just got a torch, and the torch is the Father. I've told you this before. The torch is the Father. The light is the Father, because what it is, if you go into the situation that the mother puts you in, right, and you work it all out with the Father's light, it just means you've opened your cells up. Open up the door, okay? And then your cells will remember. Your cells will remember. You've opened them up. That's why the mother nurtures you before you leave your house, and she never stops nurturing you. You know, and food. You know, like they give you food. You know, so there's memory loss, but they don't understand that. They just want to nurture you. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that this world that we live upon is all about forgetting and remembering, and trying to step forward without stepping back too far. But you can stay at certain levels for a certain amount of time. But for me, I see this is your challenge. This is your journey. So as a female, it's all about giving your kids tools, how, and your partner, yeah? It's all about that nurture, the female energy. The female is the one who uses her hands to create food, to heal the body, to heal the family. The female is the root of the family. It is the root. It doesn't change. Okay? The male is to explore, because that's what light does. Light explores. Okay? Light explores in every direction. Turn on the light, it will go everywhere. Okay? And they cast shadows, it creates shadows, and these shadows need to be lit up again. If we're talking about Christmas, okay, so Christmas is a representation of the presents, and the presents mean you being there. And what I mean by that is that with this power, you have been created to be there right then. Presence. You are in the presence. Okay? You are projected light in the present of being right there. And that is your gift. That's your gift. You've been gifted that presence. And where? From the North Pole. From creation itself. The tree represents, if you want to look at it, is obviously where your spine is, the tree of life. And if you want to look at it like this, what's the first thing you do if you put up a tree? It's all about stabilizing it. It's all about keeping it stable and being able to put it on the floor. So that's your ground chakra. And then after that, it branches out. What's that? Well, that represents your teenage years. So first it's rooted and it has to be grown with love. And that's from the mother and the father. And once you've got that, you can then push up. And as you put the tree up, you push the branches out. That's all your memories and your thoughts. And then as you go older and older, you realize you don't need so much space. You don't need so much memory. You don't need to remember this and try to do this. So you start to branch inwards. And then you've got lights on your tree. And the lights are the light of the tree. So what you're trying to do is light up all the darkness around. So there's no darkness around. There's no darkness. And then the lights on the tree light everything. And then if there's a shadow somewhere, you put a light on there. And that's awareness. You bring in awareness to your own tree. And then you have a star up the top. And the star is illumination. It's the one thing which is you. You are the star. You are. And it takes you that long to find that star. After that, you've got the presents underneath. Because you don't put the presents under the tree until the tree is complete. And you've done your work, you raise your chrism oil. Once you raise your chrism oil, you have now presence. You are in the present. To look at Christmas sometimes a little bit different. It is giving. It is the season to get given. And I understand, and we all understand, you know, Father Christmas and stuff like that. But one of the things I want to tell you is that the system which has been created is for everyone to go home. And yes, the system is changing. But see, you got to remember, when we were created, man created another man. And some of these were wild beasts of a human. And they would murder, kill, rape. They do all these different horrible things. They were so far away from the real creator, the mother and the father. They were so far away because they were created in laboratories. Who created them? You know, and some of them embodied demons. So these negative, horrible people eventually, over the years, the bloodlines ended up having more positive to them because they were mating with one another, and then they started to feel love and compassion, and they started to feel all these different emotions they've never felt before. And once that happened, they then started to become true human beings. And then when that happened, is what's happening now. Systems were created to keep these beings in check. Religion, NHS, government, all of these sort of things which were taken away from our ancestors because they knew how to do it. But what if I wanted to give a path home, a lit path home? So as we become more aware, we then start to realise we don't need anyone else telling us what we can and can't do. We can see that the system is pulling our energy. It's like looking at a motherboard, and then you've got all these chips going around it, and then you've got the electrical current going around, and then creating a magnet. So you see it working all perfectly, a grid-like system, and the energy's running around nice and flowy, right? And then you start to go, right, okay, I'm going to put a magnet right on there. And what happens then? The energy starts getting pulled away from the vital organs or the vital parts because it all goes to the magnet. Yeah? So your energy is getting taken away. So now what we're going to do, as you start to have more awareness, you're going to flick that magnet away and get rid of it. And you're going to create your own energy. And when you have this more energy, this breath of life inside of you, the stretch and the flow, you're then able to go into this Christ consciousness. And then you wake up. Illumination, the star. You're going home. And you realize that your children are just made for the journey for you. That's when you realize how good and how loving the Father is. He gives you these children, gives you these family members, he gives you these friends for you to go home. And these are all different parts of your heart. and they flicker in front of you. They're projected images which are created for you to go home. They're all for you. They're all going to bring something different out of you. And once you understand that they're created for you, and who created them? The sun and moon was here before them. It wasn't just you. It wasn't just you. Creation. That's how you were created. And then you realise home. You realise home. And then you can let go. But remember, the government system, all these different systems, they have to work their way. They have to have a service. And once the service is done and you can step over it, you can walk on the water. Because you've got enough knowledge now. You've gone back to the Bible. You've gone back to the texts. You've gone back to them. And you've woken up. And you've filled yourself with light because it's information. Now you've got your own candle. You understand your own journey. You understand it. So now you walk with the candle in your hand and let other people see the way. This is how you get home. Enjoy being you. Love you. Love, live, and